Welcome to Coast Vue, the show that every single day celebrates the men and women who are making coastal Mississippi such an amazing place to live, work, and play. Hey, I have a terrific guest today. My dear friend, Angel Myers McIlrath, is going to be joining me here shortly. But I want to give you kind of an update on the coastal Mississippi tourism effort. As you know, this is not a show that typically focuses on issues, but it seems like the coastal Mississippi tourism effort is one that we keep coming back to. Last year, it was all the noise around Milton Segarra's ultimate forced resignation and the forces behind all of that. It was ultimately kind of settled down. And I have to say, I give Brooke Schultz, the chairman of the Coastal Mississippi Tourism Effort, some props for getting things sort of settled down. She spent some time in Hancock and Jackson County with the boards of supervisors over there. I think Rebecca Powers was heavily engaged in that. It's possible that Marlon Ladner was engaged in that as well. But at the end of the day, we were able to kind of settle things down. And I wouldn't go so far as to say, as some supervisors have said, that Brooks saved regionalism, because there were a lot of people in the business community, a lot of people in the gaming community. There were a lot of people engaged in that conversation. But I do think, as it relates to the commission board specifically, she did help kind of get things settled down, and things were moving along. They hired a new executive director, and things were moving along. And then in the Board of Supervisors meeting, not this week, but the one that happened a few weeks ago, Connie Rocco, out of nowhere, moved to replace Brooke. Now, look, her term was going to be up July the 1st, but the reality was she wanted to remain on. She'd just had been voted overwhelmingly by the commission board to remain on as president, because people saw her as this calming voice. But Connie, out of nowhere, surprised other board of supervisors that with a move to put someone else on and take Brooke off. Now, what Connie said was that Brooke told her at a party at a commissioner's home that Brooke told her she didn't want to remain on the commission. Well, that's not true. Brooke says she didn't say that. And in fact, Brooke very much wanted to stay on. So what happened, we went to the Board of Supervisors meeting this week, and, there's a lot of disagreement about, what really happened. Connie's, I say a little bit clean up in aisle number 9. Connie's trying to explain, her position. But at the end of the day, what Connie did was reintroduce, like she's done before. She reintroduced instability in the coastal Mississippi tourism effort. And it's unfortunate. And other supervisors voted with her. And it was apparently based on a lie, because Brooke says she never said to Connie at that party that she was not going to stay on the board. But anyway, I mean, it doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, this is a bunch of noise. But what it really is about is control. And Brooke was really making steps to refine board governance. And she was trying to move away from the board, doing a lot of micromanagement of the staff. And apparently there's forces both on the Board of Supervisors and within the commission that don't like that. They want to be able to micromanage the situation. And what Connie did was introduce instability. And now, if I were from Hancock or Jackson County, I'd be seriously concerned about this. Connie either doesn't care what the other counties believe or think, or she is moving without considering them. Either way, it's a blow to regionalism once again. I would really encourage you to go to the Coastal Mississippi, to the Coast Vue Facebook page and see my post about it. We'll continue to talk about it here, but we've got to refine the legislation and move that effort forward. The circus there has to end. It really has to. So now let's move on. I want to invite my friend Angel Myers McIlrath back into the discussion. And first, I'll just say good morning. How are you doing, Angel?
How are you?
It's good to see you. I should tell people that you're the district attorney for the 9th Circuit Court. 19th. I knew that. I was looking right at 19th, which is Jackson, George, and Greene County. You were assistant DA there for over 12 years. And we'll talk about your SoSo Strong effort that's underway with a big fundraiser coming in September. But before we do that, I just want to kind of get an update from you about how are things going in your world.
Things are going great. We had as far as work goes, we had our first term to have trials after COVID last term. We get 4 terms a year. We had 4 trials. We convicted 4 people who needed to be convicted, got justice for a number of victims. I'm really pleased with the way things are going.
Well, how's your team holding together? We actually we talked during the COVID effort as you guys were just having to change the way you do business. But
Yes.
you had a good team. How's your team holding up?
They're incredible. I really believe I'm blessed with the best team. I think Crosby Parker would kind of disagree and say he's got the best team, but really and truly, your DAs on the coast, we are blessed with an incredible staff, attorneys, investigators, and our support staff, and they all have a heart for serving their community, and I just couldn't ask for a better team.
Well, I know I've you felt that way from the beginning. It's great to be in a position like yours and have such a great team. Well, there were a lot of challenges during COVID, and the reality is that crime continued to happen and other challenges. The things that we have to deal with on a daily basis still happened, and so you guys just had to figure out how to do business in a very strange world, and you were able to get it done, weren't you?
We were. Crime did not quarantine, and we did the best that we could do under the circumstances, not being able to have trials. We resolved as much as we could resolve. We continue to have grand juries, which I'm really proud that we were able to do that throughout the duration of COVID. And now we're back, rolling going with trials. And so I'm really proud of my team. I'm thankful for the grand jurors that served in the difficult time that we did. And I'm thankful just for a great community.
Well, how did it feel to get back into the courtroom?
Oh my gosh, it was so great. That's my jam. I love it so much. It was great.
And you're serious about it. Of course, if you've not heard Angel and I talk before, I had the real pleasure of watching her grow up. I know her family really well. She comes from a terrific family, and she has put her heart and soul in her work. And she believes in redemption for sure. But if there's someone out in society that doesn't need to be there, her and her team are really focused on making sure that person is put away in a proper way. So you said you had 4 major trials and 4 convictions, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. We had more convictions than that, but we got a conviction on the trials that we had. We obviously plead cases all the time. That's how the system goes. There's no way it would fail if you couldn't plead cases. And so we resolved a number of cases, but each of our trials led to a conviction. And I'm really proud of the work of my team. 2 of those trials I tried, but I have incredible teammates who went to bat for our victims.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think I said that right, that you believe in redemption for sure. And
absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's important to me is I'm in a position where I can help people. And, I know if I send somebody to prison, they're not coming out better, right? And so we look for those alternatives. Somebody is committing crime nonviolent crime because of a drug addiction, then we have the opportunity to get them help, right? And we've done that. I've had people thank me for a felony that are now sober and living a healthy and productive and law-abiding life. But there are dangerous offenders, and we will put you, if you are a violent criminal, in prison. If you deserve to go to prison, we're going to put you there.
And you're darn serious about it.
Yeah.
So, Angel, when you evaluate sort of where you are in your political career, what's your thinking about what's next for you? Do you continue on as doing what you're doing now, or what's your current thinking?
I'm exactly where God wants me to be. I intend to be district attorney as long as my citizens will have me there. I really, truly believe that this job is a gift to me from God. And I want to give back to my community that has given so much to me personally and professionally. I love what I do. I hate that there's a need for the work that we do, but I'm glad and thankful that it gets to be me, because I know that my team is going to do everything we can do to make sure we get it right. We can't right every wrong. We can't do something about every single thing that happens, but we will do everything we can do about the things that we can do something about.
Right. Wow, that's terrific. Hey, let me check real quick with Kyle because we had a little technical issue this morning,
Okay, sure.
and I can't see him like I normally would. So, Kyle, can you give me a heads up on time? And not hearing him. Yeah, he'll come in here in just a second. But Angel, it's really interesting to see how the law enforcement community, first responders, the DA's office, so many who are out there working to protect us, how much they work together, how the court system, if you add it all up, I think Coastal Mississippi performed really well during the pandemic when you consider the amazing amount of adjustments that had to occur.
Absolutely, we did.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm just curious. When you think about your staff, do you have openings? Have you had turnover? Have you had to deal with some of the same issues that a lot of businesses have had to deal with?
Right. So the turnover that we had have actually been individuals who were lawyers that were seeking. One is seeking election, and the other found an opportunity that allowed her to grow. And so, I tell my team, I'm for you. And I want people to do the things that are best for them and their family. And that means not staying stagnant sometimes, right? And growth. And so I see your fingers up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Here's what we're going to do. When we come back, you can finish your point about that. I agree completely with where you're headed. And we'll also talk about the SoSo Strong Gala that's going to be coming up at the Beau Rivage in September. We'll continue with Angel Myers McIlrath after this. We'll see you after this. Welcome back to Coast Vue. Sorry we had to cut Angel off. We're working with the DA of Jackson, Georgia, and Greene County, a good friend, someone who's been on the Coast Vue many times, Angel Myers McIlrath. And it's good to see you, Angel, on Coast Vue today. Hey, when we went to break, though, I just wanted to make sure I didn't cut you off. The point you were making is that when you help people get what they want out of life, you'll get what you want out of life. And so you're focused on helping people achieve their goals. And sometimes that means helping them leave and bringing new people on. And people are at different stages of their lives. And when that happens, that's a good thing, isn't it?
It is. It's a good thing. Growth is always hard and change is always hard, but it's important. It's, we all have seasons. I've got some great new lawyers, and I've got great friends and colleagues that are out in the legal community pursuing their goals and their dreams. And I just support them, and I'm grateful for the time that we've had in our office together and look forward to our continued relationship.
Well, again, we'll come to the SoSo Strong effort here in just a second, but one of the things that's always been obviously something that is near and dear to my heart, and most parents, obviously this is where they are, is the efforts that you have gotten involved in so many different ways that involve protecting children. That's always been something that's really important to you. Did you find during the pandemic that you had to deal with that issue more than normal?
The frustration during the pandemic is that kids had to wait for justice in some cases. Parents had to wait. The concern was that with quarantine, kids are going to be at home with, abusive life. Our teachers, our schools are a refuge for so many children. Our teachers are the ones that identify abuse many, many times. Our schools are where our kids get fed. So quarantine was a big concern for the safety of children. From our perspective, those are cases typically that go to trial or will plea when you can have the ability to bring a jury in. And so we had children who had to wait for justice.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to shift gears now.
Yes.
You are the founder and president of the SoSo Strong Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. And it was a foundation created in the honor of your daughter, Sophia, who I had the opportunity to know. For people who have not heard Sophia's story before, why don't you tell it, please?
Okay, I sure will. Sophia was 7 when she was diagnosed. She was the coolest kid you could ever meet. Little princess dresses and fishing rods. I mean, she just was the best of everything. In 2017, she had the flu that had some weird symptoms at the end, and we took her back to the doctor. Dr. Warren was very diligent and had an MRI, and we discovered she had terminal brain cancer. And then for the next 8 months, we grieved a living child and fought to make her life have the best quality as possible. But I knew that I will, do everything I can so that other families don't go through this, that other children don't experience this. And so her nickname was SoSo. My mom gave her that nickname. And so when she was sick, we would say she was SoSo Strong. And that's how the name of the foundation came to be. And we've worked really hard since her death for other children. And I'm proud of the work that we've done. Like all nonprofits, COVID affected us. And we're excited to be back and have this incredible event coming up in September.
This is a particularly rare cancer, and you can explain that, but unfortunately, other children in coastal Mississippi have gotten it. But when you have a rare cancer, it's hard to get the kind of attention toward it that you would think would be something, the kind of really all hands on deck attention to seek a solution. But it just doesn't work that way, does it?
It doesn't. And, we look at it as an orphan disease because there's really no profit in researching it. And that's why the research that's done is primarily done through funding of other foundations like ours. We have put in, I think, almost $250,000 in research. One of those research studies has been published, but all of those research studies are done collectively with other organizations like ours. And so it is the rarest disease. Neil Armstrong's daughter, before he went and landed on the moon, had this same disease. And my daughter had the same access or type of treatment, which was radiation and prey, that his daughter had. And that's unacceptable.
Really, really tough situation. But you really, what's so important about forming this foundation, you decided to go on a mission. And you spend now years of focus in this arena that obviously ultimately led to this important fundraising effort that's going to happen in September. But there's been no let up in you, has there?
No. I'm trying not to get choked up, but this is all we can do for Sophia now. You don't stop living life with your child when your child dies. It's hard to explain. It's the only way that we can honor her. But I swear to you, I would spare any parent from this. I would do anything to spare a parent or a child from this disease. We have a family on the coast battling this disease right now, this very rare cancer. And so we have to do better for our kids in every aspect of life. This is the one that I'm living, right? And this is the one that I'm going to do something about. But it's all we can do for her.
What's been cool about what you've done is you've been able to sustain an effort and keep a good range of partners involved in what you're doing. But you can always get more, can't you? If I were a business or an individual or anyone who really wanted to be part of this incredible effort, the gala that's going to happen in September, what do they need to do?
You can go to SoSoStrongPBTF.org. That's our webpage. It's got a link to our gala page that offers multiple sponsorships. Scarlet Pearl has our biggest sponsorship. They've been incredibly generous to us. We have 3 other major sponsorships that aren't taken yet, but those are time limited. So, reach out to us. You can Facebook us. I'm easy to reach. My phone number, I'll put it out to the world, 228-327-3133. Call me. We expect over 600 people there. It is a great opportunity to get your name out, to be associated with a cause that the community, this coastal community, cares about this cause. And so we need silent auction items. We need people to come and enjoy the event. We've got a great band, great food. It was an incredible success in 2019, and it'll be even bigger and better this year.
I'm not surprised to hear that Lou Ann Pappas from Scarlet Pearl is.
She's amazing. She is
so
an angel on earth.
She's a really good friend, someone I really admire. My wife Ann and I recently had dinner with her, and it was just great to sit and talk about not about, my show or the casino industry, but just about our own passions in life and what makes us tick and what we like to do when we're not doing the work thing. But she's a special person. You hear her name come up all the time in efforts like this.
So much. I don't even think that everybody knows all of the things that she and her team do for our community. I get emotional when I talk about it. Her heart is for this community, and I'm so blessed that she's joined us in our fight. And you are too. The entire I've known you almost my whole life, and you've always been out there in the community working to serve in every capacity you can. I'm grateful for that, Ricky. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. So the SoSo Strong Gala this year is going to be at the Beau Rivage on September the 24th. So we've got a few months. Yeah, we got a few months. So we really want to urge people to. I think it's a good thing to the website. Let's say the website name again, so people, if they really want to.
SoSo Strong, SoSoStrongPBTF.org.
Good. We want people to purchase tickets. We want people to put it on their calendar. We want sponsors. You can't, obviously, when you're doing an effort like this, it's a fundraiser for such an important effort, and doing it in the name of her daughter, Sophia. That's how the name SoSo Strong came about. The more the merrier. You can't have enough people engaged in this.
You can't have too many people. You can't have too many sponsors. Our major sponsors, we need them now because we have to give you your credit that's due, right? And it requires publishing materials. But we want everybody to come and enjoy your evening, but do it for a good cause. And then you're going to get to learn about the things that we're doing. We're research partners. We are partners with a new program called the Nurse Navigator Program.
Well, Angel, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to catch up with you. Sorry, we had a few technical issues this morning to get this thing started. We Kyle and I are used to coming to these shows and just cranking up and rolling. We'll do sometimes back-to-back conversations, but Angel was very patient today as we worked through some unexpected technical issues. But it's been a pleasure to Angel to visit with you this morning.
Great to see you, Rick. Thank y'all. God bless you.
God bless you too, my friend. We'll see you after this break.